Could you turn your face away? Those terrifying red eyes. Why don't you leave me alone? How long are you going to torture me?
I want to leave you alone, but I can't. Since long ago, when I was a young captain, I couldn't be awake while sailors were asleep. Come on, get up, get out of bed. Don't you have a few days off from work? Go play a little at least.
Hey, hello, I'm Kråkan, also known as Kråkan, and welcome to YACC, yet another Crowcast, where I pick a game I play for a week and then I talk about it. This week's game is Memoranda, and it was developed and released by Carbon Fire Studios, Digital Dragons, and Bitbiters. And it was released on the PS4 this year, 2021, and earlier on Steam or PC 2017, if I got the wiki right. It's based on Harakumi Murakima's short stories such as The Sleeping Woman, The Blind Willow, and The Elephant That Vanishes. And those characters or stories are kind of integrated into the history itself. In fact, the main character of Mizuki Ando is based on one of those characters, and that's the girl you were playing as. And there will be spoilers up ahead, just a heads up. So the game is based around this girl called Mizuki Ando, and she is an insomniac and she is having trouble sleeping. And when the game starts, she's actually awoken by this sailor by her bed, and it's really creepy and really weird. So you're introduced to this weird puzzle point and click world where you try to basically learn your own name because of some weird reason you forgot it, and you kind of like solve your sleeping problem, your insomnia. So the game starts with like 3 pictures showing. One of the pictures is with Mizuki, in this case, arguing with her husband over something, and some of her friends just snap a photo at that moment. And another photo is Mizuki with her mom and dad out on a picnic. And she remarks that she doesn't really like her mom because they always argue when they do something, so she'd rather go with her dad because that's more pleasant. And then there is a third picture of a circus, and I think that was during her high school years. She brings one of her friends to the circus, and there's this elephant, and all of her friends got super jealous because she went with a popular girl in school to the circus or something. And then Mizuki wakes up, and this, as I said, this creepy kind of sailor man is by her bed. And then he can't really leave because of some reason, and like the intro of the that you heard at the beginning of this episode, you get it explained that he can't really leave because he's a sailor and he's supposed to keep an eye on the sleeping guys on the boat, on the ship, because that's a routine. As a young captain, he used to do this, because if you don't fall asleep on a ship, things can get bad, so he's basically having watch over her. So, and you pick up a lot of stuff and things, you combine them in inventory. And the point is, this game is called Memoranda, and Memoranda is basically like a note or notebooks, or one of those sticker notes that you put on everywhere to remember things. So Mizuki has this book that she writes down all the things and thoughts that she has. And she kind of, this is like a quest, like go to the baker, buy a donut, and once that's done, it kind of like crosses it over with a pen. So it's also part of the puzzle solutions, like maybe I should do this, and it's a note, and there's some hints on certain puzzles to a various grade. You don't need to take the hints, but it will be good if you do. It's easier to solve the puzzles. So you start in Mizuki's flat, and there's this funny cat called Miso. And first I thought it was a stuffed cat because it's so still, but apparently it isn't. It's a real live well cat, I guess. And in her apartment there's some photos of friends and whatnot, and she has her sticky notes, and she has this safe, which I haven't gotten that far in the game, but I guess you eventually get into the safe. So what you do is you go down to the third floor, and you arrive at the third floor basically, and there's this like kidney stone, and there's like on a hat rack or something, and you pick it up and you put it in your inventory, but as soon as you leave the scene it kind of escapes and returns to that shelf. So that's a piece of a puzzle that comes in later. And then I always make these notes. So I guess I made a memoranda too of this game. So you go up to the 4th floor, and there's this screening room there, and you can't get in there yet because you need like the permission of the owner of the flat, the landlord. Jack is his name. He's in the lobby downstairs. But anyway, go down to the 2nd floor, and there's like this woman that's arguing over a phone in a room, and you can hear it throughout the corridor basically, but you don't want to go in there because of some reason, and that's a puzzle later in the game too. And then there's a girl in that same flat. She's drawing like these she's drawing, basically doing child drawings, and she wants a donut. So there's this part where you go down to the bakery and you basically pick up a donut and give her, and you get this film reel so that you can watch, because apparently you're supposed to find this elephant as well, and the man of spaghetti knows where it is. So it's this reference to the elephant that vanished, I guess, and this kind of like this anthropomorphic kind of elephant guy. But anyway, get this film reel from this girl, and then you walk down one more flight of stairs, and then there's this door of Kardash, I think it's called. Yeah, Kardash. And he has this knocking system on his door, and there's like these playing cards, mark 1 through 7 or something like that. And you're supposed to figure out by looking at a poster in an elevator that he actually does music, and this puzzle is related to the music. So the memoranda actually gives you a clue, and it says like, look for the numbers on the poster. And I look at the poster and I see like 1, 7, or 14 or 11. There's like a date number, and there's like some other numbers. So I thought maybe if I knock those numbers on the door, like a knocking puzzle, I get in. But nope, you're actually supposed to look for text, not like numbers, because the text numbers is like, I think the puzzle solution was like 4 to 1 or something, which makes 7. So you have like these musical terms, like single, like a duet is 2, and like 4 is like a quartet, I guess, for people. And you can get into his room by solving this puzzle. And he's working on this kind of machine that takes signals and converting them into music or something. He has a machine made for that. He's a genius basically. So you can get the blueprints by talking to him, and you need to go out in the world to find these natural frequencies, which you obviously do. So you go downtown, you go down to the lobby, you talk to Jack, the owner of the apartment, and you leave. And you go down to the main square, and there's like this, you go to the bakery, you pick up a donut. And you can, at the main center of the square, this like Tanuki statue. And I think that's a reference to the Haruki Murakami author as well, because he's Japanese. Maybe they're part of his stories, I don't really know, but I'm interested to look them up actually. So anyway, you can also go down to this street, down the street, and you go into the puppeteer shop or puppeteer place where he lives. And there's some crazy puzzles involving like a shelf system, and there's a creepy teddy bear that you actually have to cut up with a sharp tool, and it reveals this keyboard, and you have to get a key in a little puzzle box, and that puzzle box is actually linked to the things that were in the bookshelf for some reason. I just really like these mind-bending things when it comes down to puzzle games. You like, sometimes they're logical and sometimes they're not. They're unlogical. So you talk to the puppeteer, and this is also a weird scene. He's watching TV, and you see the back of him. He's just watching TV, and he says he is trying to get the frequency from the TV back 100 years ago, and Mizuki kind of remarks that that's kind of weird. So you go back and you solve all these puzzles, and there is also like these kind of weird dolls that you have to, by looking at the painting in his shop, you see like, okay, there's like a Markov symbol on one of the paintings of a family. So you're supposed to pull these kind of strings to make this kind of the boy in the family, I guess, make him. And then you kind of solve the puzzle. And then the puppeteer calls you, and he has gotten the right frequency on the TV, and there's some earthquakes on the television, and this is really weird. This happened 100 years ago, and the effects can be seen now in this present time. It's really weird. So basically what happens is that new ways are opened up because of this earthquake that kind of just materialized out of nowhere because you solved some puzzles involving a creepy bear. But anyway, so you solve the puzzles and everything, you go outside, and now you can find the opera singer. And you can go down an alleyway, and you actually go down the alleyway first, and you find this kind of like gangster, kind of spy kind of character, and he's really creepy. You talk to him, and you pick up some liquid propane because it's lying around in the alleyway. You can talk to this creepy kind of spy guy, and he doesn't want to reveal things, and you look at this poster of the vanished elephant, the missing elephant, reference again, and he kind of breaks the fourth wall, and he kind of tells you that the spaghetti man is at the at the cottage, so now you can go there. But anyway, you can now go to talk to the famous opera singer, and this is one of those puzzles that I really didn't like, and it wasn't logical to do this, but you show him the notes that you got from Car Crash or whatever his name is, and he can sing those notes because this machine that he has, that Kardash has, that he has, it can only pick up natural frequencies and sound and not really mechanical. So you show the opera singer the notes, and he tried to sing it, but he just, as I'm doing now, is straining his voice, so he can't sing, and he starts to cough. And naturally, I have some juice on me because Mizuki has that. It's always nice to have a drink around. So she gives the juice to the singer, and he drinks it, and then he can perform this opera sings the notes, the frequencies, and these kind of orbs appear of him, symbolizing the frequencies, the sound of the frequencies, and they fly away. So this is the puzzle in a nutshell. She remarks when you pick up the liquid propane that it's heavier than air, and yeah, it's chemically correct. It is heavier than air, but why would you put liquid propane in the juice? Because that's dangerous. I think it's very dangerous to just drink propane. So you mix up the liquid propane with the juice, and when he starts coughing, the opera singer, you give it to him, and all these frequencies, they kind of drop down because they're heavier than air, and you can pick them up. So that's really weird. You can go to Kardash with these, and he kind of finish the machine for you. You pick up this other machine that can pick up frequencies, and you take the frequencies from the woman earlier on third or second floor, which is talking on her phone. You can kind of scramble them into machine, and you can go down to the beach by talking to some guys that were on the beach in the main square now, and the beach area opens up, so you can go down to the beach, pick up some seashells, and you can talk to some guy at a pier, and you can enter the lighthouse, and you get confronted by the creepy pirate kind of captain again, and then you use that machine again on one of the phones, and you can actually talk to the spaghetti man, because he won't let you in the first place, and you pick up some lenses and some other stuff there too. And now you can go to a cottage, and before you even can enter like the premise, you need to put some flour down on the ground so that you can actually confirm that the elephant is there, and it's really weird. It actually leaves footprints. And anyway, once you solve the puzzle and you contact the spaghetti man, I think you can actually enter the room. I haven't really gotten there far. I just stopped because it took me a while to realize these puzzles. I'm not very good at puzzle games, but I surely like to try. Yeah, I think that was the main thing. And there's also kind of a funny thing. There is this optional thing in the lighthouse. You find this LP, like it's like a vinyl record, and you take this vinyl record back to Mizuki's flat, her place, and you can play it on the machine, I guess, the recorder. and it plays this song. It doesn't matter which song it is, but this is my reference to it. So I was trying to, you get a trophy for it, and I was down at the the grocery stores to pick up some peas because I was gonna make some Russian potato salad, which is really good. And I had the puzzle in my head, like, how am I gonna solve this game? How am I gonna make it to even do a podcast about it? So I went there to pick up some peas, but on the way I found these LPs, and I'm glad I did, these records. So I picked up Nirvana's album Nevermind, because I listen a lot to that music and it's really inspirational. So now I have this LP. So if I hadn't played this game and tried to figure out these puzzles, I wouldn't have picked up something I liked. So I really like that. But that's just a reference. So anyway, gameplay. Well, it's a point and click, and the control scheme is simple. You have your Memoranda, which you take down your notes in. You also have a map when you push the square button, so it's like a fast traveling map. And triangle to access the Memoranda, the notes, the books. The notes in the books. And circle to open up your inventory and combine stuff that you picked up. And X to interact with people and talk. As for the graphics, it looks like a hand-drawn painting, a little bit like Little Misfortune, I guess. And it also, for some reason, reminded me of the Studio Ghibli movies, maybe because of the reference to the author that inspired these games in the first place. But it reminded me of the Studio Ghibli film Porco Rosso. There's something about Memoranda that kind of triggered something in me, like this small Italian village or like a French village or something. But I really like the art style. And the music. The music is kind of like, there's this other point and click called the Mechanarium. So the soundtrack's kind of similar, and I really like these kind of ambient music. It's a little bit, it's like cheerful, and it fills up the emptiness. It's a little, I guess the word is quirky, yeah, or something like that. It's like really good, and it fits. So, yeah, it's a point and click. Otherwise, in conclusion, it's a point and click, and I can't really recommend this to anybody except if you like point and clicks. And there's like a certain demographic, certain kind of people that play these games. I like indie, that's why I picked it up. I'm not really good at point and clicks, as I said, but I really like the art style, It's very individual. I don't think this is anyone's real cup of tea. And this game is like a one through play, and you play through once, and then you maybe go for trophies and that kind of stuff, but not really much more than that. So I can't really recommend this game if you're not into point and click. But anyway, thanks for watching and take care.